Simon and Garfunkel wrote a song back in the 60s, I'm sure you're familiar with it, called The Sound of Silence. It was remade by Disturbed. Simon and Garfunkel wrote a song back in the 60s, I'm sure you're familiar with it, called The Sound of Silence. It was remade by Disturbed and more contemporary. It's an amazing version too, but kind of struck me. I was on vacation a couple of weeks ago, well, kind of a work vacation, found myself in the Redwood forest to get away for a little bit of me time, and was walking through this trail and looking at these majestic trees that are over 1,000 years old, literally, and found myself by a river way away from people, and I just sat there for a while. And the sound of silence is so loud sometimes because our thoughts don't stop, even if we are. That it was ironic, and it's something that I wanted to talk about because we're so caught up in the everyday part of our lives. Most of us live in cities, so you've got the sound of traffic and cars, and you've got the sound of music and your talk radio and your news or whatever you listen to, your kids and your work and your people, your friends, and there's just so much going on in each and every one of our lives generally that the sound of silence is something that we generally don't relish and take time for and make important. And so when I was sitting by this river in the Redwood forest, just listening to the sounds of the river and the sounds of the wind through the, through the trees and the sounds of rustling here and there from little animals scurrying and birds and stuff like that, I realized that for our own mental health and sanity, it is important to try to get away from the hustle and bustle of our type A, our alpha brainwave craziness. And you can do that whether you're in the middle of a forest or whether you're in the middle of the city, in the middle of a home, by taking just a few moments to just stop and listen to the sounds around you. Not be an active member in those sounds, but be a passive member and listen to the sound of your own silence. Listen to what you're hearing, not your thoughts, but yourself. And what you'll find is that helps bring that alpha brainwave state to a more relaxed, a less crazy one. And a lot of times you can find peace in the silence when you're not a member of the noise. So I hope you find some silence today. Ben and Jerry of the famous Ben and Jerry ice cream company in Vermont came up, I don't know if they came up with it, but they certainly trademarked it as their own and used it, but practice random acts of kindness.